is a service-oriented ministry with the primary objective of administering activities, programs, and issues that positively affect the vulnerable ones who consciously or unconsciously have resigned themselves to faith. Such enhanced programs lead to the protection and empowerment of the less privileged women, children, the elderly, physically challenged persons, and even the destitute. The ministry is presently comprised of 8 departments, namely Social Welfare Department, Child Development, Rehabilitation, Community Development, Women Affairs, Administration, Finance and Accounts, and also Planning, Research and Statistics. The ministry performs the following functions. 1. It promotes the welfare of women by embarking on programs and policies that enhance their position and development socially, economically, and also politically. It also takes charge of the welfare of children by taking actions that will maximize the development of their natural endowment and resultantly making them successful within the meaning of the International Convention on the Rights of the Child. It promotes programs that improve the cause of persons living with disabilities, like ex-lepers, destitute, and the elderly. Also propagates moral values within the family unit. We also mobilize grassroots support towards the successful implementation of government policies that concern rural development and encourages rural communities to identify and embark on self-help projects. Gender and development. We have a fund, Women's Fund for Economic Empowerment, WOFI, and this WOFI is an initiative of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development in collaboration with the Nigeria Agricultural Cooperative and Rural Development Bank, for the main purpose of channeling microcredits to the grassroots women groups through the State Ministry of Women Affairs. Participating states are respectively entitled to 6 million naira. But so far, 31 cooperative society groups who fulfilled the requirements got 300,000 naira each. In addition to WOFI, plans are underway, even with the Superdeck, for further economic empowerment on women. As we know, we cannot overemphasize the empowerment of women, because when the women are empowered, of course, the benefits will be seen in the immediate society, immediate family, and we know the importance of the family in the society. If the family is balanced, of course, society will be balanced. And so we are really looking into that area. International Women's Day celebration. The International Women's Day for 2012 was celebrated in collaboration with Girls Power Initiative, an NGO that caters for all-round development of the girl child. The theme of this year's celebration was Connecting Girls, Inspiring Future. There was a rally by some selected schools in the state capital with an emphasis on bringing up the girl child to become a well-developed and an important individual in society. Some academicians, professionals were invited to give inspirational talks and as well act as role model to the participants. The program, which was well attended, was held at the Women Development Center. And also, to bring this year's topic to a successful end, there is also plan to train girls in various skills, and we are going to hammer on sewing. When I mean sewing, that is not just needle and thread or mashing the needle, but the machine, but the kind of advanced sewing that will enable the girls that have acquired such skills to also export their clothes, just like you buy from Senegal and so on. That plan is on ground and it will soon take off. We also have big film workshop. The ministry acquired a piece of land from the Delta State University on campus for this purpose. train people on modern beekeeping. In 2011, a beekeeping workshop was organized for 64 persons across the state to acquire skills on modern beekeeping, and the extension of practical setting of natural beehives and beekeeping gadgets to youth. 2009 organized the Delta State Women's Summit, the first of its kind in Nigeria. The summit, which brought together women from all walks of life, chief executives of companies, top government functionaries, civil society, market women, and rural farmers, deliberated upon the shared various experiences and relevance of the climate change phenomenon as it affects women and children. The ministry organized a one-day workshop on gender and climate change on the 25th of November 2009. The workshop was attended by NGOs, government officials, women groups, students, and academicians. The key objective was to increase knowledge and understanding of gender and climate change negotiation and the position paper for the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And of course, we know about this issue of climate change that our governor is in the forefront of this climate change, because as a state, he made us to be aware and abreast, about this climate change, so that we have to be prepared. And that's why the ministry took upon itself to carry out this enlightenment program. Delta State Presidential Rehabilitation Life Skill Acquisition Program, that's Deltans. Deltans is a 12-month residential holistic program for young girls who, for one reason or the other, were not able to complete their secondary education and have not acquired any life skills that will enable them to become self-reliant and responsible members of their families and communities. Deltans, which is domiciled at the Women Development Center at Sabah, started on the 20th day of July 2009 with 21 students drawn from the 3 senatorial districts of the state. The pilot program, which is an adaptation of the structural 12 steps in the Sultan method and philosophy, is designed for changing mental, emotional mindset and acquisition of skills for wealth creation and economic self-sufficiency. In Deltans, the students are taught a variety of life-changing skills and subjects such as literacy, ability, fish farming, snailery, animal husbandry, crop farming, computer appreciation, procedure and pedicure and manicure, event keeping, hairdressing, fashion and design, bead making, and also gender studies. Even living by management and peace building, child minding and child development, and also group and individual counseling. Due to the success story of Deltans and Sabah, the program is being replicated at the Women Development Center, Efekhoda. Deltans Efekhoda was flagged off on Monday, 12 July 2010, with 100 pioneer students that will soon be graduating. Furthermore, Deltans has also been replicated at Oko, Anala, and Guluku with 55 and 50 clients respectively. Presently, undergoing training in different skills and vocations. It is worthy of note that preparations are going on towards the graduation of clients from these centers. And during that graduation, we give them starter packs. 30-room female hostel, Abraka. The ministry has a female hostel in the university town of Abraka. The main objective of establishing the hostel is to provide a conducive and affordable accommodation for the female undergraduates who cannot afford the high rent of private hostels. At present, a total of 60 undergraduates are in the hostel. Recently, the hostel was renovated in order to make the environment more conducive. That's the hostel at Abraka. It may also interest you to know that we also build in our Ole campus and our campus, which universities have taken over because we built those hostels in the school premises. But the one in Africa is outside the school premises, so we are still under our management. Rehabilitation. Community-based vocational rehabilitation program is a program organized by the ministry to train persons with disabilities, PWDs, in their various communities in their vocational skill of interest. 9 master trainers were selected from the Prison Editorial District to train PWDs. Between 27 to date, 40 PWDs have been trained and equally given starter packs to start our workshop of their own and to train other PWDs within their communities. Farm craft. 19 blind persons were sent to the Nigerian farm craft for the blind at Keja, Lagos from 2007 till date. They were trained in craft work like fish farming, bead making, poultry management, typewriting, soap making, braille, computer training, tie and dye, and home economics. So far, starter packs were provided for 12 people living with disabilities who graduated from the Farm Craft Lagos. Provision of employment for people living with disabilities. Through the recommendation from the ministry, 72 people living with disabilities were employed into the state post-primary education board and the state civil service. Payment of allowances to people afflicted with leprosy as ex-spouse. The ministry carried out successful payment of allowances and feeding of ex-spouse in all the settlements across the state and Osimo in Edo State. Over 781 adults and children were fed and cared for across the state. These settlements include Abo Ogwash, Uteyu, Eku, Ugwagi, Ibrede, Jedo, and Ayakolomo. Maintenance and rehabilitation of mentally challenged persons. In order to bring sanity to our streets and highways, the state government approved 6 medical healing homes in the state that are charged with the responsibility of rescuing and administering treatment on the mentally challenged persons. The approved homes are 1. Diamond Medical Healing Home of Washuku, Ayoben Medical Healing Home Ako, Philip Onyeke Medical Healing Home Okiako, Dr. Obrigo Medical Healing Home Sapele, Edward O'Hirian Medical Healing Home Okeolum, and also Reverend Sam Oyede Spiritual Healing Home Oli. During the period under review, 250 mentally retarded persons were evacuated, confined, treated, and they all were cared for during the period under review. Allowances were given to them to provide more facilities in their various homes. The number of destitutes currently under treatment are 530, while the number discharged were 13. Blankets, toiletries, clothing were purchased and distributed to the 6 medical healing homes in the state to improve their sanitary conditions. Vocational Center for people living with disabilities. In Asaba, the center admits children and adults that are physically challenged and are taught basic education and other skills like hairdressing, soap making, fish farming, computer application, bead making, catering management, grasshopper breeding in 2011. The center graduated 20 PWDs and starter packs were provided to enable them to start up and acquire the acquired skills in their various communities. The second batch of 25 trainees shortlisted from the 25 local governments of the state will resume any moment from now. Repatriation. The ministry successfully reunited with their families 20 adults repatriated from outside the state. A total of 10 children were repatriated to the ministry from our sister states, and 8 of the children have been successfully reunited with their families, while others are still in the children's home, Asaba, and efforts are still being made to reunite them with their families and relations. Additionally, in November-December 2011, 15 indigenous females of Delta State origin were evacuated from Mali to Nigeria by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Traffic in Persons, that's NAFTA, and other related matters in Abuja on offences related to prostitution and other illegal matters. They were repatriated to the state and accommodated at the Vocational Rehabilitation Center at Sawa, where they were taken care of by the ministry. Information about their activities in Mali were documented and counseling sessions were held for them. Wheels and toiletries were purchased for them before they were reunited with their families. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal to our parents to be mindful of the people they release their children to as, guidance. Because in most cases they came to deceive the parents that they want to take their daughters to, somewhere for a lucrative job, not knowing that they carry them outside the country for prostitution. We have, enlightened the public, but I know that there is no enlightenment that is too much, because a once and for all enlightenment program definitely is not adequate. So I really want to use this medium to appeal to parents not to give out their children, especially their daughters, to people for lucrative jobs that they do not know. Because, psychologists have what we call developmental tasks. A teenage girl task is to go to school. So we should make sure we put our children in school. And we thank God that our governor has made education free to a very large extent, because we no longer pay examination fees, and so the burden on the parents is no longer too harsh. So we should look inward and make sure we give our children the best education. It's International Day for Disabled Persons. The celebration, which is organized annually on December 12th throughout the world, is aimed at sensitizing the general public on the plight of persons living with disabilities and the way of alleviating the problems and challenges. On the 3rd of December 2010, during the International Day of the Disabled Persons, 60 wheelchairs and 50 crutches were also distributed. A total of 122 people living with disabilities benefited from this program. And even right now, we have completed all our plans to also do some distribution of items that will elevate their situation. Social welfare. These services are designed to improve the well-being of individuals, groups of society, by ensuring that social problems are reduced to the very minimum. Like in matrimonial cases, during the administration, this ministry, in administering the sanctity and harmony of the matrimonial status, handled 2,407 reported cases, out of which 2,435 cases were amicably resolved, while the remaining 60 cases are still being attended to accordingly. Also, guidance and counseling services were rendered to 153 other troubled families. Care for the elderly. Over 150 older persons visited our Center for the Elderly monthly for indoor games, interactions, and reading of newspapers in order to be physically fit, psychologically balanced, and up-to-date with prevailing trends. Registration and supervision of old people's homes. There are 5 approved old people's homes in the state. 4 were established by the Catholic Mission at Agbo, Umulede, Asaba, and Wari, while the remaining one recently was processed and registered by this ministry was established by the Word of Life Bible Church at Wari. These homes, which have the objective of providing shelter, security, and comfort for the inmates, are sustained with gifts and donations from the public-related individuals and philanthropic organizations. However, it is worthy to mention that the state government provided some basic needs for the home. And very soon we are going to distribute such to the various homes. Registration of churches for marriages. 35 churches that met the basic requirements for approval were successfully processed and registered, while 5 others that applied are receiving attention. International Day of Older Persons Celebration. In accordance with the United Nations Resolution 45/6 of December 1990, 1st October every year is the International Day of Older Persons worldwide. However, since 1st October is our national day in Nigeria, the above-mentioned event is usually marked on the 2nd of October in difference to our national day. The purpose of this celebration is to enable government to identify with the needs and aspirations of the elderly. So far, the previous events were successfully celebrated in the state, with the elders being reminded of their relevance in society during the program. In 2011, the celebration attracted over 200 older persons from across the state and gifts were distributed to them. International Day of Families. This program has been annually successfully commemorated in the state on the 15th of May. This is in line with the United Nations Resolution of September 20, 1993. It is commemorated to recognize the role of the family in the society. Registration of social clubs and unions. During the period under review, there was successful commencement of the registration of social clubs and unions across the state. However, only 3 social clubs were registered. Management of the cenotaph. During the period under review, the cenotaph was properly managed.